Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and I am the English trainer for this hour. The topic we will be doing today is on youth and old age. The two goals that I have for everyone today is to learn some idioms regarding age and specifically old age, and you learn to use them or learn how they're used, and then practice speaking to develop fluency. So those are the learning goals that I have for everyone today. So yeah, so I look forward to working with everyone, and I hope to see you soon. So again, today's topic is on youth and old age. Let me show you the exercise, what I plan on doing with you all. Okay, so first of all, this is the PowerPoint slide. First thing we will do is talk about age. You know and talk about the vocabulary related to each one of these age groups. Then we will move on to some idioms and talk about what these specific idioms mean and try to see if we can use them. Then we will talk about what is called rites of passage, and each country might have a different rite of passage. And we'll talk about what that is. And then we will have a guided free discussion, which is just basically a list of questions. So that is the plan for today. I hope you all can join me and as we discuss youth and old age. And my name is Holly, and I will be the trainer for this hour. So, yeah. Okay, and yeah, so I'll be the trainer for this hour. So I will be bear with me for a moment while I get the URL for my profile, and I can give you that URL. But yeah, today's topic is on youth and old age. Let me quickly go through that with y'all. So we will talk about what these words mean and what age that is. Then we will go into working on some idioms. Then we will go to rites of passage and then go on to fluency practice. That is the plan for today. And somebody is here. Yay! Two people are here. Hi, Islam and Asma. How are you guys today?
Hi, Holly. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, thank you.
Good. So where are you from?
I'm Egyptian. I live in Egypt.
From Egypt? Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
All right. And so what's the weather like right now in Egypt?
Well, I think it's normal, not that cold, not that hot. All the year actually, the weather
Uh-huh.
is good.
So what is normal in Egypt
Um,
for this time of
Sunny.
year? Sunny. Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get on camera, and it's actually sunny where I'm at as well, but I believe it's probably a little cold. I actually have not been outside yet, but we do have sun. So,
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Of course, that Egypt one of the most sunny country in the whole world.
Um,
So yeah,
yeah,
we have the
it's
sun
always
every
nice.
year, all the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I used to live in Finland, as many people know, and in Finland, you have 6 months of darkness. So it's
I don't know
like
how.
this time of year, it's about 2 to 3 hours of light during the day. So, um,
Oh,
but Asma, welcome.
Yeah, hi. How are you,
Hi,
teacher?
very good. Where are you from, Asma?
I'm from Tunisia.
Tunisia. Awesome.
Yeah,
All right. And is this
North Africa.
uh, what is this country right here? I mean,
Uh,
what is this picture of? Do you know? Is it?
It's not from. It's not.
It's not
Isn't.
Tunisia.
No, no, it's not Tunisia, but it's picture taken from Austria.
Austria. Okay. And
Yeah,
that looks more like Austria than how
yeah.
I've pictured Northern Africa to be. So, yeah, awesome. All right. And what time is it? Both of you guys are pretty much from the same region. So what time is it where you guys are?
It's
For
11
me,
here.
It's,
11.
excuse me?
Yeah, it's
11
11
p.m.?
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Where I am, it is 2 p.m. So, it's basically the day. It feels like because I am such a night owl, it feels like the day is just beginning, like maybe 3-4 hours ago or so. But all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And we're supposed to have a full house today, so hopefully other people will join us as they have reserved the lesson. So the topic is on youth and old age. Okay, and so the learning goals that I have for you guys today is to learn possibly new vocabulary and idioms, definitely some idioms, and then also practice speaking to develop fluency. So
Okay, that's great.
those are my learning goals for you guys today. So hopefully that will work out. I'm pretty sure it will. So youth and old age. Let's go ahead and get started on this. First of all, how old are you when you are how old are you when you are an infant? Islam.
Okay, that's a new word for me. Infant.
Okay. So my first goal is actually just started. So you're learning a new word right away. Awesome. So infant. Ozma, do you know that word?
infant. Yeah,
Infant.
maybe means youth, kids.
No.
It's a little than that. It's like a baby or something.
Yeah, it's another word for baby.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah. So when you
Mm,
are an infant, of course that would be 0 to 0 to 2 is usually what they would call that an infant, and it's a lot of times infants are even small, really small, but a baby is what we call it. So
mhm.
another word.
It's not the
Okay.
same. In French, it's enfant. It's like infant, but in French, it's not the same meaning. You know, it's
Uh,
not a baby. Enfant is a kid, a child.
yes. If I remember my French studies from like 30 years ago, I remember it's like
Yeah,
ENFANT,
yeah,
and that's like an elementary school student or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
child.
a
It's
child. Okay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
that's why it's confusing me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in English, an infant or a baby would be 0 to 2 years old. Um,
Hmm.
so Mr. Coffee, it's been a while since I've seen you. How are you? And I've forgotten your real name. Mr. Coffee? So what is your name? Oh, you can't talk today. Okay. So Adil, yes, okay, I remember now. Okay. And you are from Saudi Arabia, or was it Egypt? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's just go ahead and yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. We have toddler. So, what age is a toddler in English? Any idea?
Toddler, it's like a little kid who tried to walk, or is the first experience to start walking or something.
Yeah, yeah, and that's usually it's 1 to 3, So depend, we have a small child around me right now. He's 15 months old, and he just started walking, and so he's toddling around and falling and so forth. So, and hi, Nadi, how are you today?
Hi, how are you? Fine, and you?
Very good. I'm doing well, thank you. So where are you from, Nadi?
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Awesome. Okay. So we have
Okay.
Nadi. I'm going to introduce you to Asma, and she's from Tunisia, and Islam from Egypt, and then Adil is also from Saudi Arabia, but he's not talking right now. He's I think in the middle of something.
Hi.
Okay, so welcome. And my name is Holly, and
Thank you.
I'm actually from Idaho in the United States. So
Nice to meet
it's
you.
yeah, so it's about 2 p.m. here, 2:11 here. But today we're talking about youth and old age, and so we're going over the different terms for different ages. Okay, so how old would somebody be if they were a preschooler? Anybody know?
Preschooler, I believe
Before
that's
school? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
okay. That's like a child before he entered the school,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. And it's usually, at least for a preschooler, I think it really depends on the country. But in my country, we consider a preschool child between 3 and 5 years old.
Hmm, very nice.
Yeah, but because there are some Montessori schools, for example, where a child is where children go when they're really young. They're 2, 3 years old. But then some children don't. I never went to school until I was 5, so I didn't go to anything. So how about in Egypt? When do kids start school in
Start
Egypt?
from 6 years old.
6 years old, okay. And the Asma, how about in Tunisia? How old are children when they start school?
6 years.
6 years old, okay. And how about in Saudi Arabia? Nadi?
The same, 6 years old.
Oh, 6 years old. Okay. And in the States we have kindergarten, and that's usually at age 5. But there's the many families are choosing to keep their kids out one more year. So there are many kindergarten students who are 6. My niece just started kindergarten, and she's 6 years old. And so, but then there are countries like Finland, where I lived for a decade. They start school at 7, and so their preschool years are till 6. So what age are school age children? What age do you think that would be? Anyone?
Um,
6 years old, maybe.
What? Excuse me, Asma?
Yeah, maybe 6 years old. I don't know. It's in Arabic country. I think 6 years old.
Okay,
Uh,
six to what?
uh,
7 maybe. I don't know.
it started from 6 or 5 years old. Okay.
Uh-huh.
For example, in my country, but there are no only this merge.
Uh-huh. And so it's 5 to 6 years old to when? When
Yeah.
would it end? Anybody? Any
6
idea?
years.
Um, Usually, see a school-age child. Usually, when we call somebody a school-age child, usually it's until they are in junior high, which is right before high school, junior high or middle school. So maybe from 5 to 6 to about 11 to 12. And that's usually what a school-age child is considered. So, okay. How about a preteen?
I think that's start from 9 through 13.
Perfect, 9 to 13, and and that of course depends on the child, but yeah, 9 to 13 is usually when they're preteens. Some 9-year-olds would not be considered preteens, and some would be. So, okay, and what is a teenager, Ozma? What would you consider a teenager? Any idea? Ozma? Yeah, okay.
16.
So how about, okay, Islam? What would you consider a
16
teenager?
till 19.
Actually, it's because of it's actually 13 to 19, and it's because you have teen at the end.
Yeah.
That's usually technically what a teenager is. It's somebody who has that age, but in a lot of times it's really 13 to 20, depending on the person, you know, or 12 to 20. But 13 to 19 is the technical age. I think Ozma must have had a technical issue. Hopefully she'll be back. So, a young adult, when do you think that would be, Islam?
Start from 20 to 25. I
Hmm.
don't think about that. To
Yeah,
22.
actually it's really um, 18 to about 25, I would say. So it depends on, of course, it depends on the person. So, um, and welcome back, Asma. I thought you had a technical issue.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
did it happen that all of a sudden your audio stopped working and you're like trying to speak and nobody could hear you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
that's what happens to me, and many times it's in the middle of my sentence, and then no, I'll be speaking, and then nobody will respond, and nobody will respond, and then I'll go, oh no. So,
yeah. But I don't know. I think in these days the hangout is not very bad. I don't know why. Sometimes we have many problems.
yeah, I've had more problems since they've made the changes. And but yeah, it just happens. So
Hmm.
anyway, so we decided, Asma, that a young adult would be about between the age of 18 to 25. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and an adult, what age would that be?
Mhm.
Any idea?
25 to 30.
Actually, it's 18 plus.
Not every time. Well,
Yeah, so anybody over 18, and that was not a plus. So, okay, I can't even type.
so,
And that's not a
young
plus either.
adult, an adult, it's like it's the same, or young adult is more specific.
Okay, yeah, young adult is more specific, but adult is just for example, some other phrases we can put in here, which I actually haven't, is, for example, a person in their 20s or 30s or 40s. Oh, excellent. Adil, welcome. Can you speak?
Yes, I can
Uh,
speak.
awesome.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Do you know Islam and Ozma? So,
Yeah.
okay, excellent. Okay, so yeah, so an adult, so we might say somebody is in their 20s or 30s or 40s, and that's all kind of like the young adult one as well. It's just a little bit more specific. So, so an adult, would it be anybody, any age over 18? Do you guys know what another word would be for an adult? Can you think of a synonym for an adult?
Mm.
Okay.
Mature?
No, this is a word that is actually usually used with children. You don't normally say an adult to children. You might say a grown-up. So for example, my sister's kids right now, they're 5 years old, beautiful children, but right now they're at the age the boys are where you say something and they look at you and they say, "How do you know that?" You know, especially when you catch them doing something like a year ago, I guess, my nephew stole cookies from me. And he looked at me and he said, "How did you know?" And my answer is always, "Because I'm a grown-up." So I'm a grown-up. So welcome.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Wojtek. It's a pleasure to be.
Wojtek, it's a pleasure to meet you as well. Where are you from, Wojtek?
I'm from Poland.
Poland, awesome, welcome. And Humberto, how are you today? Maybe he's getting his audio set up. So welcome. So we are talking, Wojtek, about different ages. And I was just telling everybody about the word grown up and how it is usually we'll say anybody who's over 18 plus is an adult, but we'll use the word grown up usually when we are working with children.
I got it. Everything
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. And so it's kind of
Can I
fun.
ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Would I say that an adult is a matured person? A synonym?
A synonym for a mature person.
No. It's an adult and mature person with the same meaning.
No. You can call somebody who's 18 or 25 an adult, and would you consider somebody who's 25 mature?
All right.
So usually a mature person would be probably middle-aged on, but of course it depends on the person, because you do know some people who are 25 who are mature. And then some people who are 25, or some people who are 35 who are not mature. So it really depends. So that's a good question, though. So what age is middle-aged, everyone?
30?
50?
30.
30 plus.
30 plus? Okay. I'm 45, you all, and I refuse to be middle-aged. So 30 plus would be middle-aged, or 35. I've asked people throughout basically all over the world what is middle-aged, and their response, everybody has a different response depending on how old they are. So if you ask my mom, she's 70, she'll be 75 this year, what is middle age? She's going to say, "Oh, it doesn't start till 60.
Yeah, but I think teacher, the middle age, it started from 40 years.
But somebody just said 30. Another person said 30. I've heard 35. 40,
yeah, maybe,
50. So anywhere between the ages of 30 and 50, I think is really it starts. But this one, it depends on the person. I've learned nobody really knows. Starts between 30 and 50. So would you guys consider yourself middle-aged?
No, definitely not.
No. Adil, are you middle-aged?
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Wojtek, are you middle-aged?
No, I'm a young adult.
You're not young adult, okay. Asma, are you middle-aged?
I don't know.
You don't know. Of course, in some cultures, you don't ask women about their age anyway. So,
That's a bad culture for that.
Yeah, it is not a good question.
no, it definitely isn't. It's funny because I look about 15 years younger than I am, so I have no problem. I always volunteer my age, but I think a lot of people don't. So, and it just culturally, if you think of cross-cultural things, there is one culture where it is it's polite and normal to ask age, and that's in Korea.
It's abnormal, not
It is
normal.
it is normal to ask age, and the reason is because their language, they have 3 words for the same meaning, and you will use the word based on the age. So if somebody is older than you use a more polite form. If somebody is the same age, you use another word, and if somebody's younger, you use a third word. So when you first meet somebody, if you're not sure, it is very polite to ask, "How old are you?"
Mm-hmm.
So, but most of the world, we don't we don't ask that question. So, okay, retired. So this also depends on the country. So, Asma, in Tunisia, how old are people when they retire?
I think 55 years.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from, I think, 55 years.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna say starts at. Okay, so 55 for your in your country.
Because a difference between officials and other who work not with the government.
Okay.
In the private, I think it can be different.
So it depends between the public and the private private industries. Okay, thank you. Aldil, how about in Saudi Arabia? At what age do people retire?
I guess 65 or 70.
Oh wow, 65 or
Yeah.
70.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So is there a mandatory age at all?
Sorry?
Like for example, in Finland, they have an age where people have to retire and they cannot work, and that's after the age of 65. So they cannot work after 65.
Yes, by government it's like that, but yeah, some companies hire them.
It's still okay. They can still work. Okay. Islam. How
Yeah.
about in Egypt?
Well, in Egypt, just like Finland, 65 and the government sector, but more than that, you can find another job when you get to retire in the private sector, and
Okay.
they have no limit.
And how about in? Thank you very much. How about in Poland, Wojciech?
Recently in Poland, the government introduced an amendment to the bill, and the retired people are above 68 and
Okay.
65 for women. But it depends on the occupation.
Okay. That sounds very similar to the situation in the U.S. In the U.S., it depends on when you were born. If you were born before 1965, you can retire at 65. I was born in 69, and I have to retire at 67. And that's when we get the money from the government. What we call it's either called the old age pension in British English, or in American English we call it Social Security. So,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm writing this down for y'all. So in each country it's very different as to when we retire. Okay, so what is considered old? Wojciech, what would you consider old?
More than 70.
70 plus. Okay. How about you, Adil? What would you consider old?
More, I think above 50.
Okay. So again, like middle age, old is it really depends on the person. Okay. So, and Islam, what would you consider old?
70.
70 plus. And Asma, how about you? What would you consider old?
I think 65 years.
Okay, 65. And
But I
there's
don't
really
know what is
and
the criteria to say this man or this woman is old. I
yeah.
don't know the criteria.
Um,
Dependent for the hair, the white hair. I don't know.
in English, we have a saying that you are as old as you feel. So if you are 35 and you feel old, then you are old. If you are 75 and you don't feel old, then you are not old. So, but in English, middle-aged and old has no really hard and fast rule. Where with being an adult, it's of course 18 plus. Teenagers, that's really easy to figure out, but it's really hard to know when you're old. So maybe 30 plus. So, or we'll put 50 plus. I remember when I was 21 in my very first job after university, and somebody told me that my boss was 32 years old and she was a single lady, and I remember thinking, wow, she's old to be single. She's way too old to be single. And it was really funny. So because now I'm much older and single, so it's funny. Okay, let's go on to the next. The next goal I had for you guys is to learn some new idioms. Keep in mind, idioms in a lot of ways are what I would say. It's important for you as non-native speakers to know idioms, because when you're speaking to people, then you need to know them. But it is I would encourage you guys not to use the idioms, not to memorize idioms and try to use them because they don't sound natural. So, and we have somebody new. Hi, Harry. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
And so, Harry, where are you calling from?
I'm from Germany.
Germany. Awesome. Welcome. I've been to Germany a lot because I used to live in Finland, and I used to fly into the Frankfurt Hahn Airport a lot. So,
okay, the biggest airport, yeah. One
Yeah.
of the biggest.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's go ahead and look at these. We have some idioms. We've got put yours on, a silver surfer, over the hill, no spring chicken, rob the cradle, and getting on in years. Do any of you guys know any of these idioms? Or are they all new?
First one, put yours in someone.
Okay, put yours on someone. Okay, you understand that one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else know any of these?
I can imagine no spring chicken what it means.
It means you're not young. So no spring chicken means you're not young. Put years on means you go through something in your life that has aged you and made you look older. So over the hill is very similar to no spring chicken. If you are over the hill, maybe you are old. But what is old? We don't know. If you're getting on in years, it means you are growing old. To rob the cradle. Does anybody know what that one is? My niece, a couple years ago, she's 23 or 24 now, but when she was 18, she started dating a man who was 38. And yeah, and he robbed the cradle, and thankfully they're not together anymore. But that's what to rob the cradle means. If somebody marries or starts dating, usually, and sometimes marries someone who is much younger than themselves. Okay, and then a Silver Surfer. Any idea what a Silver Surfer would be?
Elderly person who uses the internet.
Yes. Yeah. So a Silver Surfer is for all these idioms. This is probably the newest one, and not all native speakers would know this one yet because it's kind of just starting probably in the last 10 years. But you surf the internet, so to surf the internet, so a Silver Surfer would be someone with silver hair that has surfed the internet. I've been meaning to tell my mom that she's a Silver Surfer, but I keep forgetting when I see her. So, she would like it. She would think it was a really fun thing to say. Okay, so number 1, Asma, can you read that and see if you can put in the correct answer for that one?
Okay. A person has reached an age when they can no longer perform as well as before. Person is old, maybe? Or I have to use the idioms.
Yeah, use an idiom, yep.
Okay. A person is no spring chicken, maybe?
See, let me see.
Sitting on nerve.
And okay, I need to fix this. if a person.
If a person is over the hill.
And so it's over the hill, exactly. So if the person is over the hill, they have reached an age where they can no longer perform as well as they did before. Okay, all right, excellent. Okay, and Harry, could you do the next one?
If you rob the cradle, you have a romantic relationship with someone who is much younger than yourself.
Okay, excellent. Do you guys, Harry, do you know anyone who has robbed the cradle?
Teacher,
No.
can you tell me more about it? Because I didn't understand very well.
Okay, so if you have a 40-year-old man, in most cultures, a 40-year-old man is robbing the cradle if they marry an 18-year-old woman. Okay, or a 60-year-old man marries a 20-year-old woman. He is robbing the cradle. Because I think in most cultures, the relationships are usually within 10 years of each other. So it does depend on the culture, though. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Does that make more sense, Asma?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
They married or they have I don't know a relationship.
Yeah. They're either married or they're dating.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because in some cultures, dating leads to marriage, but not all cultures. So, okay, let's go on to the next one. Islam, could you do number 3?
Silver Surface is the elderly person who uses the internet.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that is I think that is the easiest one here.
Yeah, deserves very correct.
Yeah. All right, and number 4, Adil, could you do that one?
Yes, and even our difficult situation, it's make them look or feel much older. Yes, it's I forget. Put years on someone
Oh, I took that off before I should have, didn't I? So I
Yes.
put so an event or difficult situation puts years on someone, and it makes them feel or look or feel much older, and it could be just something as much as for some people it's just getting married or having children that puts years on them. Other people it's having to deal with a sickness or a death or each person is different. So, all right. Wojciech. Can you do number 5?
Someone who is getting on in years is growing old.
Yes. Getting on in years is growing old. Excellent. And then the last one, of course, I will do that one because it's the most difficult one there, right? To say that someone is a no spring chicken means that they are quite old and well past their youth. So if you're no spring chicken, so Ozma, are you a spring chicken?
No.
Say yes. Yeah, say yes. I'm a spring chicken because I'm young.
Yeah. Yes, I'm spring chicken because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I am younger.
Yeah.
I have 29 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 It's
Yeah. So
about
you're.
the middle age. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I reviewed chicken.
Where I am no spring chicken because I'm 45. No. Wojciech, have you ever taught a Silver Surfer how to use the internet?
Of course, my parents
Uh-huh.
do that every day, mostly surfing for the information, and yeah, it's most common thing which I have seen since I came back to home.
Uh-huh. And have you helped them?
No, they do not need any help.
Okay, so you haven't helped them, but you do. They are Silver Surfers. Has anybody here ever helped a Silver Surfer learn how to use the internet?
Yeah, my mother every day she's searching on the new recipe,
Uh-huh.
making, yeah, new food.
And does she ask you for help?
Yeah, how to trade with the Google.
Yeah, yeah. My mom has a difficult time buying things. She wants to buy something off of Amazon, and it doesn't work for her half the time, and so she'll ask me to help her. So she's not, as a Silver Surfer, she's not scared of purchasing things off the internet, but she has problems sometimes with it. So, all right, let's go on. Okay, so let's try to use some of these in a sentence. So let's do number 1. Islam, can you do that one?
Okay. I hardly recognize Mr. Brown. His illness. Getting on years.
Okay. Well, no, it's another one.
No spring chicken.
So his illness. What is the one that makes his illness made him look old? So what?
Okay, I put here on someone.
Yeah. So yeah. So his illness put years on him. So if you see a friend that you have not seen in a long time, and you know that they've been sick or they've gone through a difficult period, then you know that you can say that situation put years on them. So, all right, Adil, could you do number 2?
Yes. my grandmother is over the hill. She's no longer able to look after herself.
Actually, it's another one, actually.
Um, no spring chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
So my grandmother's no spring chicken. She's no longer able to look after herself.
Mhm.
Okay, and Harry, could you do number 3?
After just a few questions, my grandmother was ready to join the silver surfing.
Yeah. Did you get that again? The Silver Surfers. Silver Surfers. All right, and number 4, Wojciech, could you do that one?
Gran, you say you are getting on in years, but you sure don't look like it.
Now that will work. There's another one that
No.
that also. You say you're over the hill, but you sure don't look like it. But the one you just said also works very well in the sentence. You say you're getting on in years, but you sure don't look like it. Perfect. Number 5, Asma, can you try that one?
Mhm. Okay, my Uncle Ted is dating a 20-year-old girl. That's really Rob, what? Rob the Cradle.
Yeah, and it's actually I'm changing the structure, but that's really robbing the cradle because he's doing it right now. Okay. All right, and the last one. How old is the owner? I don't know, but she's getting on in years. Now, getting on in years, over the hill, and no spring chicken are all very similar. And you can, for these examples, you can actually use all of these in there. You can say, how old is the owner? I don't know, but she's no spring chicken. I don't know, but she's over the hill. All of them will work. Okay. All right. The last thing we're going to quickly discuss is a rite of passage. Are you guys familiar with rites of passage? Any idea what that would be? Actually, I think we're going to skip that for this time. We're going to go on to questions because I realize we only have 10 minutes left. Okay, so this is an exercise. I call it a guided free discussion. So what I'd like you guys to do is choose some questions that you are interested in talking about and ask somebody else in the class. Okay?
Would you please zoom in a little bit because it's not clear to read?
So, excuse me?
Would you please just zoom in,
Zoom in. The only thing, because this is a PowerPoint, I'm not sure how I can zoom in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off some questions and make it bigger. Bear with me a moment. Yeah, because I wondered because there are a lot of questions on this, so. Is that better?
Much better.
Okay. And let's take off a few more. There. Wait a minute. It just went to 14 fonts. Should have. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. So let's start. Harry, could you choose a question and ask somebody else in the group the question?
Okay, I have a question for Islam. If people are still able to work, should they have to retire when the rich a certain age? Explain your opinion.
Yeah, I believe so because to work is not that mean that you have reached a certain age or something. Because for some people, I believe that work is we made to work. You know, the God created us to work to. So I don't believe that should be a certain age to say that you have to stop working or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
In your country, are people required to stop working at a certain age?
Yeah, when they reach 60.
When they okay, and so they can no longer work. Okay, and Harry, what about in Germany? What is the situation there?
We can work until we want to stop work. It's unlimited. You
Oh,
can,
awesome.
yeah, there is no limit for working.
Okay. And in the States, that is the same as well. You can work for as long as you want. Um, and you see a lot of people who are 70 something who are still working. So, but in Finland, they have to stop at 65. They're required. All right. Islam, could you choose a question and ask somebody? And be sure, you guys, to ask follow-up questions. So listen to the person and ask them a follow-up question if you can.
You want me to ask someone or
Yes.
Aslan? Okay.
You ask somebody, Islam.
Okay, I will ask you. Okay?
Ask me?
Yeah.
Okay,
if you don't
okay.
mind.
That's totally fine. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Some people say that men age better than the women and remain attractive longer. Do you age? Explain your opinion.
Do I agree? Do I
Yeah.
agree? Absolutely. I've maintained that since I was about 13 years old, that men, as they mature, become more attractive, where women usually don't. And so a man who is attractive when they're in their 20s will be very attractive when they're about 50, between 50 and 60. In my opinion. But it does depend, of course, if the man has maintained, has stayed healthy, and made the effort to look good. So, but what do you think, Islam?
Or I'm totally agree with you. Because but to stay attractive for a man, that means you have have a hot blood. You know what I mean? Like you need to have a healthy to stay
Yeah.
healthy as much as you can because to be attractive, that means you have good healthy, good look, and good attitude generally.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I've worked with a lot of very attractive men who are in their 50s and 60s. So, and when I was in my 20s and 30s. So, yeah, good question. So I will now choose a question, and we'll check. In your opinion, what do you think is the
Yes.
best age to be?
In my mind, 20s are the greatest time periods in our lives because we are an adult. Perhaps most of people choose to study to do the bachelor or master degree, and this time is the great opportunity to spend it for traveling, for falling in love.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, 20s can generate the best memories for your entire life because later when you get to work, when you will settle down somewhere, have a family, you wouldn't be the person which would be able to fulfill your dreams to I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my opinion.
That's your opinion.
Just-
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And I find that interesting because I thought personally I thought my 20s sucked, and I have had a much better experience in my 30s. So I'd be interested to find out what everybody thinks about that. So Adil, what do you think is the best age to be?
I want to ask one question to Asma,
Okay.
because my sister, she said to me yesterday this question. The question is, some people say that young women are usually 2 to 3 years more mature than young men. Do you agree? Explain
Okay.
your opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So um,
Which question? Some people say that.
the last one right here.
Okay, some people say that young women are usually 2 to 3 years more mature than young men. Do you agree?
Is this question for me?
No,
I
it's for
couldn't hear it.
it is for Asma. Adil wants to know from Asma, because she's the young woman in the class, if she agrees if young women are usually 2 or 3 years more mature than young men. So, Asma, what do you
Sorry.
think? No worries.
Yeah, teacher, but it means that more younger. This is the meaning.
What it means is, are young women usually, do they act older than young men?
No, I don't. I don't agree.
Okay.
No, because yeah, always they say that the women, when they act, uh, they are inconscient by their behavior, but I don't think so. This is like stereotype,
Okay,
or
it's a stereotype.
yeah, but yeah, there are. It's in the it's in our culture, but it's not really the truth.
Okay, because that is interesting, because in I know that for children, young girls mature or grow and are act older faster than boys do. But it's interesting about young men and women, whether that is true or not. I think it depends on the person. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, because I knew young women who were very immature, and I knew young men who were very mature. So I think it depends. So, Adil, what do you think?
I think the girls, they are the young girls, they're more mature than men.
Oh, you think so? Do you
Yeah.
like in the United States? Hi, Valho, welcome. We just have a couple minutes left, but welcome anyway. In the United States, one thing that I find interesting is young men have to pay more for car insurance if they are under 25 and they are not married. Have you guys heard that?
No.
Yeah, the person who pays the most car insurance are young men. But if a man gets married when he's 20, then his car insurance is much lower. But the idea is, if a young man is under 25 and he's single, he will be more reckless. But if he's married and has children, he'll be more careful in the car. So
Oh.
that's an American thing. I think it's only in the U.S. Yeah. So, all right. Well, it looks like we are running out of time. And everyone, thank you very much for your participation in the class today. I hope that you learned some new words and some new idioms. And I hope to see you again in another class. And thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Thanks.
Teacher, by the way, do you have a Facebook?
Yes.
Like a Facebook page, so we can, if I have a question, I can write it for you. Facebook
Yeah.
page.
Facebook, you just go to Facebook would be Verbling Teacher Holly. Search for that and you'll find me.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, thank
thank you. Bye.